Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third matchup of the day for the North American Wildcard Tournament. We're going to be heading right into 5 Angry Men to see if they can take down the mighty Fat Chunk Assemble. And this is going to be quite a match to be seen. Both these teams have already earned a win for the day.
Yeah, this is the fun stuff, Driver. This is really when we get to see who the more powerful team is. This is only one. We also have next week as well, so it's not all over today,
right.
But this is a fantastic start, and this will sort of set the tone for who the most powerful person in Wildcards is.
We'll see. I mean, going to this picking stage, Cirquette going to be banned away immediately by Fat Chunk. They respond with a unique removal of Nemesis. He did so well with that last match. They're going to take it away, so we'll see what Unique goes into with Nemesis gone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of choices that he could sort of look towards. Freya's going to be banned out. That's not one of Unique's favorites, but
right.
It is a powerful jungle pick, and that's sort of the benefit of liking sort of secondary, sometimes tertiary picks for your particular role, which is essentially the identity of what Fat Chunks does.
It is. I mean, they like to mix it up a lot. They definitely do. And we'll see. We're seeing more stability out of them coming into the last few weeks of the SPL and right into the wild card. And it seems to be working so far. With that Freya ban, Freya's going to be locked in here. This is actually... I'm not sure what this is. I think this isn't on her. But they're going to be locking that in over to 5 Angry Men. They're going to be hovering onto Thor here for the jungle. Homie, I think, has been playing fantastically with that character.
Oh, yeah.
Not really too surprising that they want to first pick that, considering the fact that Unique could actually go with a Thor in the jungle.
Yes.
They're going to be locking this in, I would imagine. Now, the next selection... They have a choice to make here. I think Giannis was very successful for them.
Giannis was very successful for 5 Angry Men. To be fair, Mace of the Face was essentially the first Giannis. Giannis came out, was misunderstood.
Right.
Unstable Vortex, is it difficult to hit? Is it not? That's one of everybody's favorite arguments to have on whatever social media you're looking at. But Mace of the Face was the first pro at the time to really say, no, look, he's fantastic. Look at what I can do, and won games with his ultimate. And so Mace of the Face was, like I said, he's the first Giannis, and he's going to pick it. I love the choice on him. And that's going to be Giannis and Thor on the side of 5 Angry Men.
Now, with this this being banned out, I'm not... This is very confusing to me, but what my intuition tells me is that top pick there is Geb. I think that's actually Geb, the way things have lined up here. So it looks like Ra is going to be locked in. Nothing really too surprising. Heroin plays a fantastic Ra. I don't see Agni being locked in here because Heroin loves his Ra, and Cyclone Spin not a big fan of Agni.
Right.
So I would imagine they're going for a little bit more protection here. So Paul locked in. My intuition tells me this is actually a Geb Apollo Ra on the left side, and then Thor, Giannis. Do they want to go for the Athena is the question.
It's up to 5 Angry Men. I think they do want to go for the Athena here. Either they want to go for Athena, or they want to find a strong offensive. It's one or two identities that this team can go, and that's the Odin. So that's the secondary. That's the strong offensive look that they're looking for. I kind of feel like they just picked the Odin into the Ra to shut the heal down because it's hard to deal with it. But I like the idea of Odin, Thor, Giannis, strong offensive frontline, backline, because Thor's tanky, Odin's tanky, and Giannis can get out of wherever you put him in, no matter what. So I like that decision. I like where it's going, and they're going to go ahead and ban out Unique's Kali. Kali's just really popular.
He is, and Kali doing super well. I mean, Rom is also going to be banned out here in response. They don't have a hunter pick just yet. And we have seen AD Carry play a very fantastic Rom. Now, as far as like what is available after that, right? With Apollo gone and Rom gone, you're looking at Ul on her. You're looking at, we don't really see Artemis that much at all anymore. So it's just Ul and on her mixed in there, and then occasionally the Neath, depending on what you're going up against. Neath actually would be a pretty good choice here, but given the fact that it's Mace to the Face, it's going to be Isis.
Isis is going to go ahead and get picked up for that team. I hope to see Mace of the Face on Giannis. That's what I want to see. I love his Giannis. We talked a little bit about it before, but the best. They're both mid lane players, frankly. So you could swap that around. You're right though. Neath is intriguing. 5 Angry Men are going to need a hunter. Fat Chunks decide to go ahead and 5 a.m. You're not going to take one. We'll just take two.
This is either a solo on her or a solo Apollo. In fact, both of them worked quite well.
It could be a mid on her.
Stop. No.
Time travel?
They've got Ra, and it's Herwin, so I doubt that. I mean, just knowing the players,
very
just
true.
the fact that Herwin loves Ra and he's very good at it, I imagine it's going to be a mid-Ra. Now, that leaves the solo lane for On Her and Apollo, and I think that it, honestly, given the fact that we know Samshrew did very well with Apollo, and Samshrew doesn't really do well with mixing up his characters, this tells me this is going to be a solo On Her. Just give the Apollo to Samshrew.
Yeah, I mean, on her is going to be in the soul lane, can farm extremely fast with that Impale very early on. I think like level 7 or 8, you're going to be able to clear the wave no problem. On her is yesterday I called it a 1v1 me bro character.
Okay.
That is what On Her does. He wants to fight. He wants to solo fight. Cyclone Spin wants to fight you in the solo lane. Cyclone Spin is not a farmer. He wants to fight you. So Cyclone Spin playing this On Her in the solo lane matched up against the best on Giannis. Cyclone Spin's going to try and put the pillar on the wrong side of the best, and the best going to be forced against the wrong wall. Look for a lot of aggression coming out from this On Her solo lane. If this is the first time you're seeing this, it's going to be a duel.
Well, you look at this right. You can actually impale Odin to his own ring through his ring. I mean, the projectiles do travel through it even if you're on the enemy side. So if we see Odin by himself, Cyclone's going to walk up and go bam to your own spear and impale him to it, which is really powerful. They're also going to have, and you look at the lineup here. I'm actually a little terrified for 5 Angry Men because you look at this, as far as like reactionary, Fat Chunks is actually better at using an Odin ring than 5 Angry Men is, where they have the Odin. So, we're going to Odin ultimate. Hoonbots, big totem coming out there, big ultimate. We're going to see ultimate coming out from On Her. Ra's going to get the heal inside. Gim's going to blink in and Cataclysm. So I feel like it's more of a downside for 5 Angry Men to have that spear.
Yeah, I mean, basically what the spears you're going to be you're going to look to kill Heroin here. You're going to reduce the healing. You're going to completely neuter that situation. And that's what 5 Angry Men have to use this Odin for. We'll see if it works out. I'm not too sure if it's going to. I'm kind of on your side where I don't like the Odin choice. I liked it better when the team was a little more offensive. But picking into the Isis afterwards, I get the synergy between the two ultimates, but I would have rather seen a more bursty character. That said, let's hope these players prove me wrong. We're in for a great show. The two winners of today's first and second matches, 5 Angry Men versus Fat Chunks, was underway.
They're moving forward here. They're going to be moving out of the base. All 5 members from both teams looking to group up here. And I'm going to go ahead and readjust my scoreboard so I can have these rolls lined up because I like seeing it. I like seeing it lined up a little bit easier for me. They're going to move over to the mid camps here as they start to rotate over. But it looks like it's going to be a bit of a slow gain. Nice ward placed down on both sides coming out from Aurora. Onto the ground it goes. And when you look at this, right, you're thinking, can the 5 Angry Men lineup get a good early game to stop the Chunks mid and late game?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up to, and I think it's less about the characters. We could sit there and talk about God choice. I think it's up to the players. I really think this is up to the players. Both teams sort of have some tools. Both teams sort of have some detriments as to each phase of the game. This matchup will be completely about the players, Drybear.
Completely about the players it is. And Sam Shrew has been seen to kind of have like a very wide variety of play, right? He's very much sinusoidal in that he can have his ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs throughout the match. But that last game, he had a lot of downs in the beginning and a lot of ups at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's a confidence thing, Drybear. You see it. You see the way he plays in lane against the SPL teams, and that's why Sam Shrew sort of gets in trouble. That's why he takes a lot of, like, tough problems in lane. So against these Challenger Cup teams, he's feeling a little more confident, able to play a little more confident, and we saw him with a single death. So
nice triple stun coming out from Mace to the face there as they try to rotate over. Not going to be successful. So far, the On Her solo is kind of like piquing the interest of the viewer here, and we'll see what Cyclone Spin can do with it. There's the blue buff being picked off. Going to rotate over to the lane pretty shortly. So far, seems like the mid lane is being very aggressively cleared out by Mace to the face. That wing got such a powerful level 1 ability to have, especially up against that first wave. We're going to see the left lane getting aggressed on the bird bomb on Aurora will force him back rotation. This is a fast one, but Mace to face just walked through 2 wards.
Good stun going out onto Aurora from AD carried, and that's exactly how this lane is going to have to play. 5 Angry Men have an Ul who wants to kill you, and an Odin who basically all he can do is kill you, Drybear. So the red team is going to look to be hyper aggressive in this long lane.
There goes the clear. Now on top of the minions, there goes the drop. Now looking for the left side push. And 80 Carrot and Bug's getting very aggressive, and you kind of have to be with Odin. I mean, if you're not using his early burst, it's like why pick him in the first place kind of thing. So he's getting very hyper aggressive here, trying to force it down. Look at the 2 hunters side by side. You can see that the Spiked Gauntlet is the choice there for Sam Shrew. Going to be looking over onto 80 Carrot. He's going to be starting with, I imagine, a Transcendence, and I love the choice for Ul.
Yeah, I mean, Ul works out with the Transcendence. The main caveat with Transcendence versus Heartseeker or Devo Gloves is that it comes online a little bit later, but Ul is a burst ability-based hunter. So you get that Transcendence so that when you get the stun, your 1-3-1 combo hits very hard. You just want max contribution from your power. So look for that Transcendence. You're going to fight a little bit early, and that's what the Odin's there for, able to give early power when you can't.
Damage buff taken down by Unique and Heroin. Back into the base they go, stealing the movement speed away, but looks like they're going to be heading over here. Hog is off of cooldown for Bugs. Going to secure it, drop that on the ground, going to take it and jump over the wall. Oh man, are they angry? He actually baited it out, didn't jump just yet. He will be jumping after the fact, but a slow rotation from Chunks means that 5 Angry Men gets that movement speed for free.
Every time. That speed buff is just so fought over. You want to take it. It hurts morale because you want to go fast. It hurts actual gameplay because of the experience and stuff. So that speed buff is always under contention, especially the first one on the Pristine side.
Well, 2 minutes and 35 seconds onto the clock. Damage buff on the backside for 5 Angry Men will be secured. Not much aggression in the solo lane just yet. We see Best actually taking more harassment than Cyclone Spin. A lot of it comes down to the fact that he can impale the wave and just start poking, whereas a little bit more careful preparation has to come out from Giannis. He has to line out that Unstable Vortex, and Unstable is a perfect name for it, as it really is difficult to land on the whole wave.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke a little bit about before at Dry Bear, but I love the On Her pick. I love it absolutely so much. But swapping lanes, we're going to see Bugsy jump in on a Samshrew with that move just so telegraphable. Samshrew's going to dodge out of the way, and no problem. Mid-camps will respawn, and we'll see if there's any fights.
It's so hard because Odin's so slow, you know? He's like, gotcha, and then hits the ground like a second or two later. It's like, I kind of saw that coming, old man. And they're going to move it over. Now Damage on top of Unique, jumping away. Ultimate coming out, not going to fight it, but there goes the damage. The hail of arrows come down from the sky. Unique will fall. In this case, they did fight in the shade.
They did go ahead. Right sides are picked up by Red Team. Left sides are picked up by Red Team as well. So First Blood as well. That's 3 separate quasi-objectives, and now they're going for the real one. 5 Angry Men's Tower under attack, but they don't care. They're going after the early Gold Fury. Just under 4 minutes, and they're going to relinquish it to Aurora, or at least his presence.
Samshrew's up.
Apollo.
Samshrew's down. The follow-up Aurora is here. Gold Fury is standing tall, but neither team really wants to go for it. Even Chunks realizes this is not a safe place to be. Back to the solo lane goes Cyclone Spin. The blue buffs will be responding shortly as we cross over that 4-minute mark, and things are starting to grow a little bit better for Chunks as they try to control it. Now, so far, 5 Angry Men has picked up a 900 gold lead and 200 experience lead, but again, as we saw in that last match, Chunks is not an early game team. They almost always will be behind by some nominal value, and they try to build it up in the mid and late game. So the question is, can 5 Angry Men pick up the heat?
You know, it's really, like I said before, this one is going to be up to how these players play the lead this time around. So you have a 1,000 gold lead, which at this stage of the game actually means a decent amount. 700 to 1,000 gold at 4 minutes, Dry Bear. That's more significant than it would be in other portions of the game. So, you know, we'll take a look at how they go ahead moving forward and sort of what they're interested in what they do with their plays and their lead.
Well, the mid lane's gonna be cleared out here. Damage from Aurora, but you know, you're looking at this, and we're starting to build an idea about how these players are playing, right? And what their strategies are and what they go into. The more you see the picks and bans and how they implement those characters, the more you understand. You know, from a caster standpoint, when we see one pick in a picking stage, we're like, oh, that's going to that guy, and he's taking it right there. So that's pretty easy, right? And so the more you watch, the easier it is to understand these players and what they really go for. So it's a good opportunity for us to just look back on today and really what has happened, what were the best spotlight plays.
Yeah, that's what we're going to take a look at right now. So we'll warm that up for you and wonder what we're seeing here. And this is, of course, the Whirlwind at the Fire Giant.
Gonna do some damage on top. That's gonna be a really great control there as they look for the Fire Giant. But Whirlwind jumping on top is, you know, this was just a big misplay from Chris Pocket, forcing him out of the fight, making sure the Fire Giant was stolen away. Whirlwind getting taunted away here, and he played this Agni so fantastically.
Yeah, Whirlwind is one of these characters that it's just extremely potent, and if he didn't make it to Wildcards, you would have expected him to be poached almost immediately by one of the higher-up teams. Just a lot of individual skill right there, and just does a lot of work, especially as Agni.
Bugsy using that bird bomb to the best he can. There goes the ultimate coming back in, and the huge damage from Bugsy is big. And really, you know, playing the same character over again, Bugsy really has to kind of bring Odin to the forefront, show what Odin can do as a character. There goes the bird bomb to get the damage. And, you know, back into the match we go, Chunks and 5 Angry Men. It's going to be a strong lineup, right? Because both these teams have already earned their win for the day. They have a chance to win again. So whoever loses this goes 1-1. The other one goes 2-0. Now they're, you know, 3 matches, I mean, effectively 2 matches away. And it's difficult to start that out with Wildcards. But again, they do have another weekend to compete.
Yeah, today is North America. Tomorrow will be Europe. And we're going to do the same thing next week. It's a 2-week split, so it's going to be an exciting matchup because today means a lot. This is going to set the pace, but it doesn't set the winner. Dry Bear. So this is all about positioning.
They're back for the movement speed buff. It just respawned. Great timing for 5 men, but the rotation is a little bit faster this time from Chunks. Wins here. Aurora's there. Great rotation from Samshrew. Smart play by Samshrew. Doesn't want to get collapsed on. One of the most difficult issues that you feel. Oh, Aurora. Big damage, and there goes the kill. Up in the air goes Thor.
That's the damage that you're looking for out of that Odin. Coming in the back line is homie Effie. Hurrywin getting a dash on right now. Needs a Spirit Ball. Perfect is the Isis, but no follow-up for the kill. Instead, Samshrew picks up the jungler in the back. Ooh. Great ultimate coming out from Rob, but just a deterrent. Not enough to get the kill. Samshrew Nas completely surrounded, able to get out by himself. Fantastic ultimate coming out from that Apollo, and just one death in that excursion.
Goldfury is standing, but 5 men doesn't have a whole lot of HP or cooldowns available. Looks like Blows is going to force away the movement speed buff and take it with Gugnar's Might. That is so hard when you're jumping away from it. Pick up the movement speed buff and back away he goes. Mace to the face going to go over. The Goldfury will not be falling, but the movement speed buff will be taken twice in a row. In fact, there have been no movement speed buffs gained so far in this game by Chunks.
Yeah, that's a conscious effort coming out from 5 men. I joked a little bit about taking the speed buff away from the junglers is hazardous to their health, but it actually is if it becomes a routine thing. You start to feel unsafe in your own jungle. You don't know when you get a buff because red buff goes to the mid laner most of the time, and it just creates a situation of uncertainty. Uncertainty leads to hesitant play, which most of the time leads to a loss.
Well, it also starts building up. You know, there are a wide array of team styles, and it comes down to the personnel on it, right? If you're up against a team that is very high emotion, very high strung, if you start taking the buffs away, then the general's like, guys, come on, come help me. I'm all alone. They're taking my buff. And then Longland's like, yeah, well, I get it, but I can't leave. And then they start fighting and bickering, and you're causing that emotional disarray, which really helps you go into the team fights later. So 5 men just jabbing those shards right into the tightness of Chunks and see if Chunks can actually react to it.
Yeah, and this time around, Unique's actually going to take that red buff. That's what we were talking about. So no red buff on Heroin at the moment. Going to aggress on 80 carried, but just sort of show his face. Didn't want to fight that at all. 80 carried walks right past him to the Gold Fury. 5 men aggressing. Good ultimate from Isis. That's going to deter a lot. That's their Gold Fury, and in comes the rest of Unique.
Surprised to see him keep going here. He actually tried to commit to that one. Damage on Unique will come out. Does he have the spears? Will trap inside. No jump to go. He's all trapped in. Thor up in the air. Homie F needs to get a good dunk here. It looks like he might. They're trapped inside. The Yana's ultimate hit as well. Beautiful timing from 5 men. Herwin stopped in mid laser beam, and he will be taken down. Best gets the kill out of Roar. Samshrew going down. Triple kill for Homie FA. Looking for a Cyclone Spin. There's nowhere to go. It's a big Team 5 victory on top of the Gold Fury. There goes the jump, but that was poorly played by Chunks.
That was a rough situation for the team in blue. 5 men just executed that perfectly. A beautiful play coming out from Homie Effie, stunning 3 members. I'm going to say 3.5 because he killed one with the dunk. So against 3.5 members, stunned, just completely surround, makes the most use of that Thor passive, giving him extra, just a perfect play coming out from the 5 angry men. They get the Gold Fury. They take 3 kills for it. Fantastic play.
They're sitting at 3,900 gold in the lead right now, 5,400 experience. Now, again, not letting up. They're going for the blue buff on the bottom right side corner of the map and putting some pressure there. But just contrasting the two junglers together, you're going to see that 5,700 gold for Homie FA, for Mr. Rotated, Mr. Strong, Unique on the left side. He's going to be sitting at 4,700, so 1,000 gold separates the two junglers. As for the mid lane, we're going to see 5,100 for Mace to the face. On the other side, though, Herwin's going to be sitting at 4,400. So almost every role is at a huge, huge standard deviation away.
Yeah, I mean, this is the situation that you want to be in. You just want to lead holistically, Dry Bear. We mentioned before how there was small leads on each individual in our last match, and that made the lead look larger than it was. This time around, it's 3,600 gold. Everybody's rich right now, so everybody's really feeling that. Mid-camp's 5 angry men are contested. Look at the positioning right here. Mace to the face, walking up in front of the enemy mid laner. They just have no fear, and they're starting to feel this lead. They have no fear about contesting these mid camps. All they know is that they want it, they'll take it, and they already have.
Damage on Aurora will force them back to the tower here. It's not a good place for Chunks to be in. Now, the gap is big enough where this can start to really go downhill quickly, right? You're going to need, a couple towers, a couple Gold Furies, and maybe some good team fights to kind of turn this back around in their favor and get that lead, because they're sitting at, 4,000 is enough for them to start finishing items, get their actives done, and control the map very aggressively. And the core items come faster that way. And they're going to be setting up for a fight in the left side here. Unique gets stunned out.
Stun, and the double tap comes out from Homiefi, but not enough. Great stun coming out from Mace to the face. Good wing gust to just provide some spacing, and that's going to be another speed buff for the 5 Angry Men. It's Fat Chunks are feeling it, and that time they just relinquished it.
Oh, he missed the teleport. Homiefi actually did not teleport on that hammer. Didn't click it in time. Samstru in trouble here. He's going to go up there. He will go for the look for the dunk. Diggity dunk! Going to find that, and there goes the kill.
Homiefi now taking a couple of tower shots. Auror's here, but he can just teleport right on past with that Molnir's attunement. So able to get free and clear for that one. Level 13 is the Thor, sporting a 4, 1, and 3 slash line this time around. Heads back to base, finishes his Jotun's Wrath, Drybaron. That's going to be dangerous.
Well, he's 1,200 gold ahead of Unique on the other side. That is individual. That is not overall. That is individual. That is insane for actual separation. Now, you're looking at the solo laners right now, really kind of the saving grace is that both solo laners are tied. Cyclone Spin and Across the Way, the best, are at the same amount of gold, and so Cyclone Spin able to control this. He's actually even took down the tower, which is great because you have a single target physical damage dealer. They're great at killing towers, and that's what you look at. But, when you look across it, you really need some more money on your Hunter.
Left side, Unique tries to do something, but he gets stunned out. 80 carries here. Unique only has about 10% HP, but the ultimate from Sandshrew going to provide that presence that we were talking about. Just saying, hey, I'm here. Don't fight my teammate. All right, I won't.
That's a good rotation. It really is. And, you look at it, and it's smart from AD carry, because most players be like, I got this kill. I got this kill. I got this kill. And it's like, wait, is that a helicopter? I should leave.
Yep.
I should leave. And he did. And it's just good practice, good discipline.
Yeah, they want to stay here, and this is really what Fat Chunks needs to do. 5 Angry Men are showing no respect to the enemy jungle. They are walking in, they're taking what they want, most notably the speed buff. They're hanging out in this no man's land, in between blue buff and speed buff. And what that does is it opens them up to 4 ways of aggression. That's what Fat Chunks needs to do. They can't really fight head-on. They need to fight in the precarious situations that 5AM are getting away with.
Well, the Gold Fear is spotting up here, and it's a precarious situation that Chunks is in because they're on either side separated. Herwin in trouble in the mid lane. Look at the stun. They're going to find some. There goes the force back. He does have enough to keep himself alive, but again, they're just looking for a free pick before the Gold Fear respawns. It's coming up in just a second. There it is, now back to life, and that's going to be 1,500 gold that 5 Angry Men is looking to secure, and Chunks has to get there.
Looking for the side. Chunks are here. 5 Angry Men are here first. Chunks are spread out completely. Giannis can get here a lot faster than Anhur, so keep that in mind. Gold Fury very low already. We're about 70% HP, so in comes the monkey looking for something. There's the ring, though, Drybear.
Doors up. Big damage coming through. The hammer will be enough. Looking for the dunk, gonna find nothing. Looking for Unique, possibly under tower range. Nothing to come out from that one. They will dunk, and Herwin goes out. There was absolutely no proper reaction from Chunks at all in that fight.
Not at all. I saw Auror die, and he didn't die in the right spot. He just decided not to contend. That, unfortunately, was just
look at the rotation in mid lane. They come behind. Cyclone Spin, look at the silence, gonna find it. There goes the kill. Cyclone Spin finds the kill and jumps away. Oh, man, the Slayer of Enemies strikes again.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin, honestly, despite the rest of his team, Cyclone Spin is playing his lane well, playing his matchup well. 1-0 right now.
Oh, into the
wall. Great impale on Mace in the face. A better Aegis and a better ultimate, but there's the overhand smash. Unique gets the kill. Here we go on the middle lane. The best waiting for his waiting for his portal to come up. There he is, and the good beads is going to get him out of there, no problem. I liked that dodging and weaving while he waited for the cooldown to come up on portal.
Right, yeah.
Just walking back and forth, not standing still, because just 3 more seconds. That's all I need, 3 more seconds. And it gets him to safety.
Missing a lot of shots there. An opportunity. It didn't seem like it was a kill opportunity for Samshrew. I mean, he didn't really have enough damage to take. Especially, it was a good look. Samshrew got in front of the portal and blocked him out, but it's so hard to be able to do that with a single hitbox.
Yep.
You really need 2 gods to be able to do it effectively, or maybe even a wall or something just in his way, because 1 hitbox he can walk around pretty easily. Now, the problem here is that you're going to see, oh man, it's nearing on 2,000 gold here. Between the 2 junglers, you can see that Homiefi, 8,200 gold, 67 for Unique, nearly 2,000, about 1,600 gold between the 2 of them. It's getting bigger by the moment, and the problem is that you're looking at a team fight level god that transcends into auto text later, but if Unique can't get that transition, he's just a team fighter.
Well, he does get his first speed buff of the entire game. almost 15.5 minutes in, so that's going to be a good one of the few positives for him. Five Angry Men leading this game by 6 kills, 9-3, and the gold difference is huge. 5,900 gold going the way of the team in red, and Five Angry Men also just hit the 9,000 experience mark. So as far as the distance between these two teams, so significantly in the lead are Five Angry Men, and Fat Chunks are going to have to pull something strong in order to really get back into where they want to be.
Pushing to a corner is Sam Shrew. AD Carry is not letting up at this point in the game. Bugsy is standing by in case there's a kill opportunity to try and even force the Apollo ultimate, but it's on cooldown, so he does not need it. He's going to back away, go over to the mid lane. Left side camp will be responding. Another 90 gold in the coffer of Five Angry Men as Chunks do not have the position to try and take it. Unique's looking for a kill onto the left side and try and find AD Carried, but he spots it out with that ward, that very offensive ward, placed inside the enemy jungle. And they know everything Chunks does.
Yeah, I mean, Five Angry Men, they know what Chunks are going to do, largely because of the wards, but also because of their tendencies. You know, you get to see these guys play for 7 weeks in the SPL. You get to watch it. The Challengers teams, especially a team that is expecting to go into Wildcards, you got to be watching these games. You got to see what they're doing. So the Fat Chunks are no surprise for Five Angry Men at the moment, and they're playing like it. They're playing like they know everything.
Well, the atomization is getting bigger and bigger. Now, we do see AD Carry finish off the Transcendent stacking. Now we're into Executioner across the way. Sam Shrew is not really having enough to really transition to anything. He's got 600 gold to his name. Not enough to start that third item just yet. Unique's on the left side of the map, but again, the ward stops it. And I don't see why Unique keeps trying to rotate over. Maybe just getting AD Carried off of Sam Shrew's back.
That's what it
by
is.
Forcing the presence. But at the same time, they don't really have anything to go at. The mid lane's under pressure here. This tower is going to take siege. The Gold Fury is spawning up. That's all Five Angry Men is doing. They're just buying time.
Yeah, Five Angry Men is just sort of like waiting for the next big thing to happen, whether it's Gold Fury, whether it's a tower siege. They just have 3 in the middle, 2 in the middle now since the back comes out from Thor. He's going to go ahead and pick up a Void Shield. I like this choice. I like this choice. Let's talk a little bit about what Void Shield does and why it's not a shifter shield.
Oh, looking for the kill on AD Carry. Jumps away. There goes the jump. Does he have a teleport? Looks like he does. Oh, the purification beads, unfortunately enough. Well, back to your point, Void Shield, 25 physical power, 50 physical protection. But what it does is it reduces the physical protection of enemies within a pretty large radius. 5 units is a lot by 15. And so this is going to mean that it's on Thor. So he's going to take less physical damage from Cyclone Spin and from Unique and from Sam Shrew. He knows that Hurwin's behind, and all the physical damage he's going to take is from, I mean, Cyclone Spin, really. I mean, he's the one who's fed, so avoiding that damage. But not only that, he's now going to be feeding into the damage from Bugsy and from AD Carry with that aura, and he knows that AD Carry is super fed right now.
That's exactly it. AD Carry has been super fed, basically operating off of the duel situation that we expected in the long lane. Cyclone Spin in that short lane role, showing his face in the long lane right now, running his way to safety, being chased by 2 members, but he gets here comes the roar.
Not going to find that hit, though. Through the portal they go, and now back over the Fire Giant, possibly. They're teleporting through, going to hit the mid camps. Sam Shrew smartly takes the short lane, just get as much farm as he possibly can. They know that he's not doing too well. In fact, if you look at the gold per minute, he's saying at 326, actually pretty similar to Unique. And it just seems like across the board, the only person that's holding their own is Cyclone Spin. But to be fair to the entire team of Chunks, it's almost always your solo laner when you're doing poorly.
Very, very, very true. This is not the first time we see this lane swap come out from Fat Chunks. Of course, they're both hunters, so it's less about the god and more about the individual right now.
Right.
And that's what's kind of interesting here. You see the Apollo, and he moves over to the solo lane because he gets a little safer with the tower still with there. On her is ahead. He can sort of box the AD Carry. AD Carry sitting at level 18, on her sitting at level 18. It's a more even match. Fat Chunks.
Rod trapped inside the mid lane here. Damage up from Bugsy. I don't see Hurwin getting too far. Nice Aegis. Giannis ult coming through. It will clip him as he steps back into it. Hurwin gets taken down there. The killing spree for Bess. And, you know, honestly, the Gold Fury is being started up by AD Carry already. And I think one of the reasons why they did also put Sam Shrew on the right side is he does have the ultimate to push with, but they know they can't contest this. And one thing to think about as well is that given that the Gold Fury is on the left side of the map, it's less likely that more than one person is going to try and gank Sam Shrew. So it's safe to push, but the question is, can he actually get this tower? Was it worth it?
He can get this tower. Whether or not it was worth it is, I think it's more philosophical than a mathematical question. It's not about the money, because 1,500 gold versus the 1,500, you know, it's not about the money. It's about the positioning and what it opens up for the map. It's on the Fire Giant side, which is the easiest lane to go up against. He doesn't get the tower. Now it's immediately not worth it. The best is able to just force him off of that. Not a big deal for him in mid lane. We're just having more aggression. 5 Angry Men want to take this middle tower. With 4 members deep, they're looking for that opportunity right now.
Forcing Samshrew back to the tower is going to be the best. It's a 4 versus 3 in the mid lane. Respawning back up is going to be Herwin, and now it's a 4v4. But the damage, the gold, the experience, everything is in favor of 5 Angry Men right now. Samshrew is going to be forced away from the lane as a level 20 best goes to kill him. Looking for the hit, can't find it. Dash away to Samshrew, very low on HP. Homie FA, he's got an ultimate right now. In fact, all 5 ultimates still standing for both teams. There's opportunity for a team fight here. I won't even defend the tier 1.
No, you want to give up this 500 gold and just wait for the Apollo to rotate, so you have 5 on 4 or 6 on 4 if you, or 6 on 4 if you want to count the tower. If you take a look at the Soul Lane while all this was going on, they lost their tower, and now here comes the fight. Aurora gets the Cataclysm. Bugsy jumping out of the way, already dead thanks to the tower. Cyclone Spin, credit for that one. Everybody's running away from the Fear No Evil. Cyclone Spin picks up the enemy ADC. Mace to the face, all alone in the jungle. Chasing the best is Samshrew. Couple of basics will miss. Looking for one to hit, so Beautiful does, but now he's stunned out. All of a sudden it's a 2-on-1, hit by the double tap, and that's good enough. Cyclone Spin wants to get aggressive. Pinned, but beads out is Mace. Here comes the monkey, not enough. So much aggression coming out from Fat Chunks and not able to pick up a single kill as 5 Angry Men walk away unscathed.
Well, they also walked away with a Bugsy at 80 carried kills, so that was more of a greedy jump on the tier 2. I mean, they wanted to force the fight, which is a good place, but Chunks reacted perfectly. Now they're going for the Fire Giant. Cycle Spin has to be careful here. Now they have the Hog on their side. They know Bugsy just came up, and Odin's not a very fast character, but here comes the damage. Chunks has secured the Fire Giant. Homie, if he tried to take it, but actually could not secure it. Thor looks like he actually, did he go for tier 3 Hog? Thor ended up, yes he did, so there's 2 tier 3 Hogs, so I'm mistaken. He did actually have Hog 3 there, tried to steal, but missed it by a hair.
Yeah, so there were 2 separate engagements right there in the middle, and there was the initial one where they got 2 kills onto 5 Angry Men, and then the secondary chase weren't able to get anything, but they weren't looking for it, and that's the important part. They were looking for the shove out. They were looking for the distance so that they could send 5 members onto the Fire Giant. They go ahead, they get it, and 79, 78, 7,000 gold in the deficit. 5 Angry Men, or Fat Chunks Assemble, find themselves with that Fire Giant, and now it's all about where. Where do they siege? Middle lane, left lane, where do they go?
Well, you look at the numbers, 7,600 gold still in favor of 5 Angry Men, so it's hard to really compare this. And I think the main thing about this is that while they have the Fire Giant, the teams are effectively even, right? Because you get the regeneration, you get the bonus damage. It's like recovering the amount of items that they have in deficit. But the second that Fire Giant buff falls off, they're all of a sudden way in a hole. So they need to make sure that they use this Fire Giant as an equal opportunity to try and build up that golden experience difference. And honestly, there's not much to do. Gold Fury's down. The tower's not easily aggressed on right now without getting a single pick. And 5 Angry Men's not making it easy either.
Yeah, they have to find something. They actually have to use this Fire Giant. A lot of times you can get a Fire Giant, just sort of buy time for your team, sort of wait it out and make things happen. This is not one of those times, Drybear. This is you need to make this an offensive Fire Giant, as difficult as it's going to be. Instead, Fat Chunks right now taking a lot of time off of that clock, getting jungle buffs safely, which to their credit is probably the second time all match they've been able to do so. But soon they need to look at a lane. I want to see them look at middle lane specifically, just because 5 Angry Men is spread out, but they need to look at a lane. They need to get at least a single tier 1 tower. I would like to see them wipe middle and left lane off the board as far as tier 1 towers are concerned.
Tier 1 towers, I mean, it's not about the goal at this point.
It's positioning.
It's just the map control. It's just the fact that it opens up more space for you to deal with things. Obviously, if they can't run back to the tier 1 tower, they don't have any safe havens. Looks like Homie, if he is possibly looking to ult here, into the lane he goes. Nope, he's going to cancel it, as I do see Cyclone Spin backing off. But Cyclone Spin's kind of the saving grace for Chunks, and it's a little difficult, right? You know, the fact that you put Honor over there, you saw the difference. In the last chase fight before the Fire Giant, Samshrew was like, pew, 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 pew. And then Cyclone Spin came in and was like, boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden they have that powerful hunter presence that can bring the physical damage to the table.
I mean, you take a look at the On Her build, it's just mean. You've got Heartseeker with full stacks. You've got Chin Size. He's building into crit with the short sword. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Deathbringer first, even though Rage is generally...
I would like to see Deathbringer to Titan's Bane. He's lacking so much pen right now.
Exactly.
There's a decent amount of physical protection on the other side. You see 2 Breastplate of Valors, you see a Sovereignty, you see a Void Shield. He desperately needs penetration.
And the Titan's Bane, I would actually like to see the short sword stay and build the Titan's Bane. You have the Fire Giant, you want to look for objectives. Titan Bane is going to help you do that. Forget the players and their breastplates of who cares. Go for the towers. Go for the objectives, and Titan's Bane, 33%, that's what you want. You want the objective kills. He needs the Titan's Bane.
Right side, Samshu pushing up here, trying to take this tower down. The Gold Fury is standing up. Looks like Chunks is going to start it. 5 Angry Men is here. They're not, I mean, they're just, oh, Giannis ult coming through. Will it hit anyone? Looks like it won't. He was predicting for possibly a Gold Fury, so forcing that out. And now that's going to get them the tower.
Yeah.
Not bad.
They'll be able to pick that one up thanks to Samshu or not. He's going to go ahead and be safe, not pushing the Phoenix. This will give them a free Gold Fury. So this is all right. I would have rather see more towers, but if they pick up this Gold Fury or this fight, either way I'm down. This makes a lot of sense.
Giannis is still on the right side of the map with no ultimates. This is effectively a 4v4, but Apollo can still fly over, which he might be doing. Yep, he's up in the air now. Now rotation going to come out here. Roar forced out. Going to find Bugsy here. The spears actually slows the whole aggression. That was a beautiful play by Bugsy. He stopped everything.
That's exactly what you want Odin to do. It's always about the tool and not about the damage when it comes to Odin. Using that ring perfectly, and now we're going to see the real fight. Jump in from Bugsy. No ring available. Homie Effie in the air looking for someone in the back line. Going to land on no one, and Cyclone Spin jumps over the wall. Unique takes out 80, carried that ul, so that's going to be a big deal. Good heal coming out from the Isis, but they're chasing on. Great stun. Looking for more members in blue is Bugsy.
Why are they fighting Bugsy? Bugsy's taking too much damage here, but he's still a guardian. They need to focus on someone else that's doing damage here. Desert Fury is now on cooldown. Samshu has nothing left to give in HP. Aurora is on the front line. Actually, popping the bubble is going to be Giannis there. The best takes that down. Now looking for the follow-up on Herwin. Herwin dropping low. The heal is there. The kill on Homie Effie. Herwin gets taken out by a giant ball of darkness, and now Aurora forced away. Unstable Vortex going to come out here. Nice shockwave. Needs a little more damage to take it down. Don't have it. Don't need it. Mace to face will look for the kill. Can't find Aurora. Samshu's back in the fight. Can he get it? Oh, Serenade takes it down. Bugsy look for the kill, but he's got no more damage.
Samshu stuck in the ring with Bugsy. This fight has gone on so long that the Odin ultimate comes up a second time. They're going to chase Bugsy, but a good blink from the Odin is going to get him away scot-free. So now Fire Giant has fallen off of the members. There are 4 members alive. That was a 1-for-3 trade going the way of Fat Chunks. They smartly stop chasing the support and instead go for the Gold Fury. But Bugsy's right here. He could make a play, and they still can't get it because they just weren't quick enough right there.
Now, to be fair, Bugsy's there with a tier 3 Hand of the Gods, so he has that available, and there's none on the side of Chunks. So they can't secure it without Aurora, and Aurora just showed up. So they're looking for a kill on Mace to the face here, look for the damage. Can they find it? Spirit Ball coming through. Looks like they will be able to take this one down, but here comes AD Carry. The damage is now in the fight. Looking for the follow-up. AD Carry that's looking for Samshu, but the body blocking is too strong. The crits are there. He's got no jump. He's got nowhere to go. He gets the kill on Unique and trades his life for it. Beautiful play, but, you know, I'm so shocked at what happened at the end of that fight, F-Dot. I'm actually a little disappointed because what we saw, right, is Samshu trapped inside the ring with Bugsy. Bugsy is there. No mana, no jump available. He has a blink, but the blink requires him to be out of combat to use. Samshu got afraid, backed away, but they had Bugsy secured. He was their only Hand of the Gods 3. If he just went hard and secured Bugsy, which he certainly could have, it would have kept him in combat, preventing him from blinking away.
Yep. They
would have got the Gold Fury for free, regardless of Mace to the face, and things would be better.
Yeah, it's a 3-second timer that you have to be out of combat for that blink 3, so able to get out of there pretty much no problem, because there was a delay on the aggression. Fire Giant, no delay on that one. Already down to about 40% HP.
Thor.
In comes the Giannis ult. Thor's in the air looking to stun someone. Bugsy's right here, able to get the hog if he needs. There's the ring. Aro's here too, so it's just going to be a matter of who hits it. 5 Angry Men go ahead and get it. So Aro not able to go ahead and steal it. The aggressor gets it anyway, and Samshu's in the air.
Bugsy looking for Bugsy. He's looking for a fight. Looks like he's already out of the fight. Gold Fury is standing, though. I would like to see Samshu just go over there and start soloing it, but he's going to land down onto the back. Harpies here, take those out, get his gold, and go back to the base and look for some items here. But the Gold Fury is still standing strong.
5 Angry Men looking at the Gold Fury, most likely. Auror's going to back. They don't know that. Auror back to the middle of the lane, so they don't know that this is completely free, but 30 minutes into the game, 10 to 12, pretty close game, and 80 Carry's just going to be able to solo this by himself. No contention whatsoever. Zero vision, zero support, zero anything really here for the members of Fat Chunks Assemble, and that's just going to bring the lead back above the 6,000 mark. 5 Angry Men, this is their next push. They want to make a push onto this left-hand tower, and they definitely can.
Fortunately enough, Samshrew was going for the blue buff right when they were doing the Gold Fury, so he was not able to see that. Intuition would tell you that the Gold Fury was being taken there, and again, missing a lot of opportunities to go for that Gold Fury. He went for the blue buff, and because of it, he was forced out. Actually, he didn't even get the Gold Fury, the blue buff, because they came over after finishing the Gold Fury and pushed him out. But at this point, 30 minutes in the match, 12-10. The score for kills is relatively even, but the golden experience is majorly separated here. 6,300 gold and 7,000 experience in favor of 5 Angry Men. They did also steal away the Fire Giant thanks to the valiant deed of Bugsy. At this point, Chunks, they gotta look for a fight.
Chunks need to fight underneath this tower. They need a 6-on-5, which is exactly what they're looking for. You don't have to wait for the Phoenix. You can fight on this tier 2 tower. And 5 Angry Men trying to jockey for position. They're going around the side. Instead, they want to come around the unsafe way because they have this lead, because they have this Fire Giant. They have a lot of chips on their side of the table, and they're willing to bet them all that they can win these fights.
Bugsy going through the tower here. He uses a shield to tank it up. Homie, if he looked for an ultimate initiation, couldn't find it, had to land back down, so that's now on cooldown. AD carry taking damage from Aurora here, but there's no follow-up. I'm surprised to see him blinking and using the ultimate there when there was no one in place to really react to it. So now Cataclysm's on cooldown. So both major teamfight ultimates, the Thor ultimate and the Cataclysm ultimate from Geb, not available. And so this is going to be a slow initiation for both teams, and they're looking for more of a defense inside of Chunks, whereas 5 Angry Men can look to drive the pace.
5 Angry Men trying to figure out which tower they want to go on. They've gotten middle lane to half and then left. Left side to half and then left. The next aggression, they want to go and try to get that kill because they're just going for half towers right now, which is good. It's keeping Fat Chunks mobile. It's wasting these aggression initiation ultimates. They're just making use of everything that their opponents actually want to use. Blink in from Bugsy, gets the ring down, isolates 3, looking for the fight.
Aurora's going to be blocked in here. Now, they do have the Spear ultimate. There's a nice circle protection going to hit a punch. Big heal coming out as well. Herwin forced to disengage. Nowhere to go. There goes Homie, smacking him down with Mjolnir's might. There goes the kill. Up in the air he goes. The ultimate's back off cooldown. And now they're looking for a follow-up on Mace to face, but the tower is dead. Aurora is way out of position here. Not able to defend his teammates or peel for them at all. Samshrew forced out. Cyclone Spin forced out. Aurora trying to disengage here, but he's now all alone. 5 versus 1. Spirit Ball going to come through. Not going to land. Threshold on the ground will slow the aggression, and now the Phoenix is under pressure.
Phoenix is under pressure. Not a lot of damage coming out onto the structure, just the players. Aurora gets a good Cataclysm, but it's more defensive than anything else. He's low. His team's not present, so they're going to go ahead and retreat out of the left lane. Looking at the speed buff, they're going to pick up their 18th speed buff of the match, stealing it away from Fat Chunks one more time. And with Gold Fury down, we're just going to see them retreat as there's no more objectives for them to claim.
Again, we're going to see Cyclone Spin actually go for Rage, and it looks like he's going into Deathbringer now. He's desperately missing that penetration. You look across the way, you've got a Breastplate of Valor on 2 of the mages. The jungler has a Shifter Shield and a Void Shield, and their support tank has Sovereignty and Witchblade. They are so hyper-stacked for physical protection here, and Cyclone Spin does not have a single penetration item other than that flat 15 pen from his boots.
Yeah, we'll see the Titan's Bane come online after the Deathbringer. He wants to just be able to fight these people with those crit damage. The penetration, of course, would do probably more damage in the long run, looking at, well, he does have the 50 stacks of the Heartseeker, so that's the thought process there. I have 50 stacks of Heartseeker, penetration would be nice, but my crits are going to be gigantic as is, bring my Deathbringer in and do even more critical strike damage. So that's the thought process there, but you're right. Structures are numero uno right now. That's what he needs to be thinking about. Having the Titan's Bane before Deathbringer would be good, but all in all, it's about the play. He's been playing outstanding right now. You take a look at his slash line. He's 3-0-4. He's contributed 0 deaths to the situation. He's really playing lights out. He played the Anhur in the solo lane unconventional, even though that's his middle name, and it's working out. He needs the rest of his team to step up and join him, and they can think about turning this game around.
Well, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it hard. Geb is full on just trying to stop the gain, right? He's going for Spirit Robe. He's also got Winged Blade. He's basically saying, please stop CC chaining me. It's very irritating. And he's buying both those items together. I mean, the Winged Blade will prevent him from being slowed. The Cloak of Concentration going into the Spirit Robe will also prevent him from taking too much of cooldowns as well as too much of the CC. There goes the Magi's Blessing protect him as well. So he's got Magi's, Winged Blade, Spirit Robe. That is just crazy. Please stop CCing me.
Yeah, definitely thinking about the personal situation because he understands that he needs to look for these objectives secure soon. Or Aurora getting chased out a little bit. It's 5 Angry Men aggress onto the Fire Giant. They're gonna step off, target Aurora. If they get Aurora down, they can get it without any problems. Beautiful ring gonna lock Aurora in and a good stun. Plus some damage. He will fall, but who will get credit? That's what it's up to. He's gonna get out of there, no problem. Mace in the face takes it away. That's the problem. Bugsy, again, zoning for his team with that shield. Now, 5 Angry Men can turn around, take this Fire Giant. We do say that Homie Effie has that gold, that Hog 3, but if you take a look at Fat Chunks, there's no one on that side with Hog 3 outside.
Speaking of Homie Effie, left side, got the ultimate, going to find Samshu trying to split push. There goes the damage. He's going to dash away. Does he have an ultimate? He even forced the ultimate out, coming out from him. There goes the split. Samshu's trying to fight, but the damage is pretty even. The Fire Giant, it was actually leashed away by 5 Angry Men because of the split push from Samshu. It forced Homie Effie home. Homie Effie is actually losing this 1v1 battle. Forced back to the Phoenix, but he has stopped the push from Samshu enough. The Fire Giant is moot, and now both teams have to disengage. Samshu was actually split pushing during that team fight, and so it actually was a loss during the team fight, but because he continued on and pushed the Phoenix, he forced Homie Effie home, he forced AD carried home, pulled him off the Fire Giant, and bought his team some time.
Cyclone Spin quietly gets the mid lane tower. That's going to be bigger than it seems, folks. 6,500 gold is still the lead the way of 5 Angry Men, but any sort of thing, anything Fat Chunks can chunk away at this lead is going to be a positive, most notably that mid tower. We keep talking about map pressure. It's just less safe places for 5 Angry Men to retreat to. Right now they're going to look at the Fire Giant. They're trying to bait this fight.
I love that AD is just casually taking this Gold Fury. There's the Gold Fury again. Very easy for him to take it down. Now he's on his way to the Fire Giant. He knows that his team's just setting up for a very casual initiation here, slamming down. And, again, Samshu, no physical penetration. He's got the executioner. He's going to help him out a lot. So going straight into the crate will help him. Rod just now got finished there for Herwin with that Rod. So he's going to look to possibly look for some big bursts on that ultimate. Gab's going to take out the wards. But I think the big thing for Chunks here is they need to be together now. They can't be, 5 paces away, 10 paces away, 3 seconds away. They need to be together now, and hurt begins.
Because this is what happens when you get split. Aurora getting his head split open, and again, this is a replay of what we just saw. Take a lot of burst, get a lot of CC, lock him in there, and Homie Effie locks in that kill. Herwin also being taken a look at. Great ages, but now he's CC'd. He's going to find his way out with that passive Speed of Light. Samshu actually picks up a kill onto 80 carried, and 4 members of 5 Angry Men still strong, but not able to really fight the way they want to. Will they turn on to the Fire Giant? That's the question.
They're going to look for the Fire Giant here. There's the counter ward. They can possibly even start it up here. Ward placed behind, so they know anyone's coming. They're going to back off. They know they don't really have the resources to do it. Checking out the player damage right now. Samshu's actually on top for Chunks. 16,000 damage dealt so far. You look over on the side of 5 Angry Men, though. You're going to see Giannis and Ul tying together. That means AD carry is just kicking all sorts of butts this game, because if he's tying with an AoE mage, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, AD carry got a lot of his player damage in that long lane where he just fought and fought and fought and tried his best to be the dueler and get what he could out of that situation. He wound up with 3 kills and 9 assists, and those assists should not be ignored.
Well, they're not ignoring him, and Homie Effie is really embodying that perfectly as he rotates over to try and poke down their blue buff while they're doing it. The Fire Giant is heavily warded right now by 5 Angry Men. There goes the counter ward coming out. I love the fact that Chunks is now starting to buy more wards. If you look at the wards placed so far, Bugsy has placed 23 wards by Bugsy. He needs to relax.
Bugsy says relax, and that's what he's looking at with 23 wards. That's 10 more than the enemy support.
24.
Just so much
24
vision.
now.
Again, just placing them as the fights are thought about. Just as we go on, that's what he's looking for.
Well, and the coverage has been helping them all game long. They even have ward coverage on the Gold Fury right now, and they're not even doing it. Gold Fury isn't being covered up here. The Fire Giant is majorly covered up. They have wards everywhere. This whole map has chicken pox right now, and the red dots are everywhere. There goes initiation from Bugs. The spears come out.
Again, locking in that Aurora. They keep focusing this tank for good reason. A lot of damage coming out onto him, and he's going to be the first to fall. The best picks up 2. That's his 3rd kill in a row, while Herwin takes out Mace to the face. That's going to be the one on the side of 5 Angry Men. Samshu Ornaw falls down, as well does Homefei. So again, 3-2 right now is the team fight. Chasing is 5 Angry Men. Herwin very low. Cyclone splitting off into the left side. Herwin now trying to wade into his heal. Not enough. More damage comes out. The best picks up his 3rd kill of that fight. Herwin falls to the wayside. 1 member alive for Fat Chunks Assemble. Even with as low as they are right here, Dry Bear, the best Bugsy and AD carry can take out this Fire Giant. There's nothing Cyclone Spin can do about it, and that's going to be a huge objective. 2 members of their team won't have it, but AD carried, the tower-killing Hunter, will, and Odin, the support that needs to stay alive, will also have it. Those are 2 very important players to have a Fire Giant buff on, and they're going to go ahead and take it home.
Well, also giving major burst damage to Giannis as well by giving that Fire Giant buff. I mean, there's so much that goes...
You were saying?
He got caught lying around.
I'm not touching that one, but you were talking about burst damage, and that was the epitome of burst damage.
That's it.
It was a secondary thought for me because I wanted to highlight the two things, and then Giannis did it for me. He just highlighted, yes, burst damage.
The weird
is
part
right
about
here.
that
Check it
is
out.
we saw Cyclone Spin go up to the movement speed buff and actually try to take it down. He was counter juggling during the fight because he realized the fight was over. He started to back. And something in the back of his mind said, please don't back right now. I have something to do. He goes over the mid camps and gets caught there. Very difficult situation to find themselves in. And they also have a disjoint respawn. 30 more seconds before Cyclone Spin comes back up here, and they'll be moving over. And now we're going to see a rotation towards the mid lane. Fire Giant buff is active on 3 out of the 5 members. If you look at the right side of your screen, you will see that little flame icon next to their portrait. It means they have the Fire Giant buff. Also damage buff onto Giannis. That's scary.
That's very scary.
He also got a magic pot.
Late game, red buff becomes more potent than a Fire Giant buff on a mage, depending on how much magical power he has. A-Roy's going to get a beautiful Blink Cataclysm, but is it enough? Unique and Samshu are here to try and capitalize off of it, but they haven't done much yet. Bugsy's still on this tower, taking a lot of damage, but the Phoenix takes even more, and that's going to be the Phoenix, the first one of the game. 500 men coalescing in the middle of this jungle, thinking about their next move.
Doors going up, looking for the jungle left side, not going to land it though. Whirlwind is all by himself. There's the hammer, there goes the stun, there goes the teleport. Into the portal he goes, the Spirit Ball does land, but the hit from the portal will take him out. Samshrew is definitely on the Gnaw side of things. He gets taken down. He will be following that fight. It's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange, a 2-for-2 exchange if you include Bugsy as he just went down that fight. The Fire Giant buff is going to be ticking strong on 2 of the members now as Bugsy ended up falling. The Gold Fury is standing tall here, and looks like 5 Angry Men will be heading over, but Cyclone Spin's out for blood.
Cyclone Spin, as we mentioned before, was doing fantastic for his team. Still doing very good. 28 stacks deep on that Heartseeker and only 1 death to his name. So Cyclone Spin is the driver that Fat Chunks need to get behind. He needs to be the one taking care of this game for them because he's the leader right now. Everybody's level 20 with the exception of the support. Everybody is farmed. Everybody's approaching a full build, but Cyclone Spin needs to drive it home.
Well, he's driving home, but not by choice as the damage forces him into a corner. He jumped away, but great ultimate from 5 Angry Men. We saw the best shoot his ultimate through the Gold Fury into the mid lane, teleports, forces the portal into the wall. He goes, the jump is on cooldown, and he's got nowhere to go, so they get a good kill off of that. And that's what I'd like to see more of from 5 Angry Men. Making a smart, in-time decision, in context, and executing quickly. If they do that more often, 5 Angry Men is looking better and better, but they can't have this indecisiveness.
Exactly, and if you can bet that if this caster notices that Cyclone Spin is the character to watch out for, 5 Angry Men or Fat Chunks, 5 Angry Men definitely know that as well. They targeted on her not by accident. Sure, it was serendipitous that he was all alone in the middle lane, but they took him out knowing that he is the potent force right now. They're going to kill him, group up on the right-hand side. We'll see them push this. There's a single tower left up for the blue team. They're going to take that down almost immediately and force Fat Chunks to fight on their Phoenix without their on her. 15 seconds out of the game still is Cyclone Spin, and that's a big deal as 5 Angry Men make their push.
Why is Cyclone Spin going for lifesteal now? He's still desperately lacking penetration. There is, again, a large stacking of HP and physical protection on the side of 5 Angry Men, and he's missing out on damage dealt. If you look at the damage so far, you can see that he's actually getting out-damaged by Samshrew just given by the fact that Samshrew has penetration. He's able to out-damage him because of that. The Phoenix is under pressure here. The heal's on the ground. The damage coming out from 5 Angry Men. Now looking for Unique in the mid lane. There's no Phoenix there to keep him safe, and the fight might even end poorly here.
Yeah, A-Roy's looking for the knockup. 80 Carrot has to jump away. Homefei, I love it. Sitting in the jungle, not showing his face, waiting to ultimate. If he hides long enough, they won't see him. They might forget about Thor. Up in the area he goes, looking for the back line. Gonna land on the front line, and A-Roy stunned out just a little bit. Samshu picks up the kill onto Bugsy. Up in the air he goes while 80 Carry takes out A-Roy. That's going to be a big one, but Cyclone Spin turns it around on Mace in the face. 3 members down as Homefei falls for 5 Angry Men. 3 members down on the side of Fat Chunks assemble as well. 80 Carry picks up the triple. 80 Carry picks up the quadra kill, and that's going to be the deicide going the way of 5 Angry Men. The best at 80 carried, the only members in red still alive. Can they get the win? They can, and they will. They're pushing on to the Titan right now, and an incredible fight. 5 Angry Men clean up and take the victory.
40,000 damage dealt that game by 80 carried, and that's the thing, is if you leave the most damaging character for last, you're gonna have a bad time. That damage at the end of the fight was actually astronomical, and they really couldn't stack up to it. I mean, when he gets into his mode and pops his attack speed increase, he gets there, he's like, hey guys, let's go. It's crit, 900, 900, and you can't keep up with the damage output to the point where it's just really, really rough. Now, looking at the stats on screen right now, we'll see exactly what happened there. Now, I want to take a look at damage mitigated.
Okay.
Look at the individual players here. Thor damage mitigated, 22,000. Isis damage mitigated, 18,000. You know why? They had a ton of physical protection and no one built penetration. They were mitigating most of what was coming out. You see Unique, you see Samshu, you see Cyclone Spin. Cyclone Spin didn't buy a single penetration item, and he was having trouble breaking through that barrier.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin actually played lights out this game. 5, 3, and 10 go the slash line. His positioning was most of the time incredible, with the exception of getting caught out a couple of times. Made use of that Heartseeker, but a small misbuy like that, not able to get that penetration, is actually really powerful, or not so much in the case of Cyclone Spin. We're going to take a look at the other Hunter, though, the one that actually was in the long lane. We're going to look at Five Finger Man's 80 carried as he goes and he takes a look at one of these bigger plays right here at the end.
There he goes. Starting out slow, a little bit of life still there. He goes into bow stance, gonna get some damage off. Roar Forced away. There goes the kill. There's the first one. There's the single kill. Cyclone Spin will take out Mace Face, and like how he disengages here, then turns right back around. Big crits on Samshu. There's the double kill. Looking for the second one. Now on top of Cyclone Spin. There goes the teleportation through the wall. Big crits again. The triple kill, and a big kill after that. Turns into the quadra, and that's the whole point. Is that no one was focusing 80 carried.
No one was focusing 80 carried.
No one.
They sort of left Uller for the last time and able to use those long range abilities. Bladed Arrow
Smart
and
play.
Hail of Arrows can do damage from afar. That's exactly what he did. He winds up with the quadra.
Well, he also smartly, he saw the major push, right? You can see that it's like a light switch for teams.
Right.
It's like, oh, we're on defense, we're on offense. And he's like, indicator's like, oh, they're attacking us now. And he immediately jumped away, pop sprint, disengaged all the way away, and then turn around and reset. And that's an important talent for a Hunter to have, to realize that the team fight is shifting location. Make sure I'm not in the center of it. I don't want to be the epicenter of that team fight. I got to make sure I reposition myself so I'm always on the outskirts. He saw the movement. He saw the aggression. Was like, okay, I'm repositioned. I'm sit back. Now I reaggress.
Yeah, the Hunter's got to be a perfect vulture. You've got to look at the carry-on in the middle and make sure you're not targeted by the rest of the vultures. But if you make your way in the outskirts and you do damage from afar, that's when you're potent, that's when you're powerful, that's when you get the job done, and that's exactly what we saw.
Smart play from AD Carried and smart play for Five Finger Men. They're going to take their win over Fat Chunks Assemble today. That puts them at a very strong 2-0, and Fat Chunks is now at 1-1. We're going to cut to a brief break. We're going to go into the next match starting very shortly here. Stick around. We'll see you soon.